Okay, so our next important question is, why is Indian Constitution described as the living document? So you might guess the answer from the question itself. Why is it described as living? Okay, living document. So Indian Constitution accepts the necessity of modifications according to the changing need of society. In the actual working of the Constitution, there has been flexibility of interpretations. The Constitution has ensured that it will survive as a document respected by people. Now, why is Constitution described as living document? See, it is living in the sense that whenever certain changes were required in society, so our Constitution were flexible enough to bring in those changes by amendments. Okay, so that is why it is basically called living document. That means our Constitution was not dead, that it was made around 70 years now, no changes cannot be done. So whenever our leaders or our authority felt that we need to bring in certain changes in our Constitution because the time has changed and thus the need of the people has changed, so our Constitution was flexible enough to bring in those changes. Okay, so that is why it is called living document, because it has always catered to the demands of the society, be it if even the time was changing. So it was never dead, it was a living document. So let us come to the other heading, which is making of Indian Constitution. So how was Indian Constitution made? The Britain sent a mission to India in the name of Cabinet Mission. One of the aim of this mission was to prepare a constitution for India. With the recommendations of the mission formed a constituent assembly. So you need to remember two things, that there was a cabinet mission which was actually introduced by the Britishers. Okay, so the cabinet mission helped India to prepare their constitution, and with its recommendation we formed Constituent Assembly. Okay, the Constituent Assembly elected Sachidananda Sinha as the temporary president. Later Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as a permanent president. Okay, cabinet mission came through Britishers. They were to make constitution for us. Through their recommendations we made Constituent Assembly. Initially Sachidananda Sinha was elected the temporary president of Constituent Assembly. Later Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent president of Constituent Assembly. Now in the Constituent Assembly consists of 8 committees. The most important committee among those was the drafting committee. So in Constituent Assembly we has various kinds of committee, and we had 8 major committees. That means, see, we have different interests. We needed different articles and different subjects in our constitution. So for that we had different kinds of committees to work on that, and the major important committee was the drafting committee. Alright, chairman of this committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. He is known as the architect of Indian Constitution. So there can be a question, who is known as the architect of the Indian Constitution? So B.R. Ambedkar. The Constituent Assembly spent almost 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to prepare the constitution to be adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into force on 26 January 1950. And within that Constituent Assembly, basically, see, they are telling you how much time did it took to prepare our constitution. Almost 3 years, 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. And finally we adopted our constitution when? On 26 November 1949. This can be a 1 mark question. And formally it came into force on 26 January 1950. And between those entire period the Constituent Assembly met for a number of times in order to decide for constitution. Also, if you will read your book, it is written that it held its first sitting on 9 December 1946. Okay, so on 9 December 1946 the Constituent Assembly met for first time. Also, when certain votings were to be made, so it was on the basis of proportion of population. Okay, that means, for example, remember we had princely states and we had the provincial states in India. Princely states, just as the name suggests, prince, so they were under the control of rulers, and provincial states were under the direct control of Britishers. So when any important voting was to take place, so it used to take place according to the proportion of population. That means how much population does a princely state has or a provincial state has. For example, provincial state has 70%, so according to their population, the seats were given to them. Also, when constitution was made, representatives from all different kinds of religions were there while the constitution was prepared. Okay, now there are two factors which gave authority to the Constituent Assembly. Earlier we studied what gave authority to the Constitution. Now here we are studying what gave authority to the Constituent Assembly, who actually prepared the Constitution for undivided India. Now first is the principle of deliberation, and second it's its procedure.